Hi guys, this is Skylar from Medicine and Art at UCLA, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a really simple landscape image. I think drawing is a really good way to de-stress, especially through quarantine. That's something that I've been doing a lot, and also I like to draw things that are inspired by nature. And I like to go for walks through nature also. I think that helps relieve my stress a lot, especially throughout this stressful time. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a circle. I'm tracing a roll of tape because it makes it easier, but you can also draw the circle yourself. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in some lines, which are going to be hills. All you have to do is add in some wavy lines that are overlapping each other in some parts. And I'm going to add another set of wavy lines at the bottom to be the foreground. And finally a third set. So now I'm going to go ahead and start drawing the mountains. All you need to do is add some jagged lines like I'm doing and make sure they overlap in some places to mimic the different faces of the mountain. It's kind of hard to explain this part, but just watch along and you'll see what I mean. So now I'm going to add some trees. Trees are super easy. All you have to do is add a vertical line for the tree and then add some pencil strokes leading from the top down and make sure that the strokes are longer at the bottom so that the base of the tree is wider. And I'm just going to keep making little patches of trees dispersed throughout the hills in the foreground. You can add them wherever you want, or you can put them in the same place that I'm doing. And make sure that the trees that are closer to you are a little bit bigger than the ones behind. And it's also fun to vary the size of this, so I'm going to make those two trees pretty big, and the one next to it is going to be pretty small. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a little cabin or a little house. It's pretty simple, as you can see, it's just a few lines crossing each other. And I'm going to add a little chimney, just a little rectangle, and then two other rectangles for a window and a door. So now I'm going to try to add some shading. I'm trying to keep it simple, line shading, so that everyone can follow along. But basically all you need to do is add lines curved following the curvature of the hills. And some of them should be closer together, some should be farther apart. You can vary the length, so some of them should be long, some should be medium, and some should be really short, almost like a dot or a dash. And this is also pretty self-explanatory, just follow along with what I'm doing and just add them wherever you feel like it flows with the curve of the hills. So now I'm going to add the detail on the mountains. basically where the peaks are, I'm just going to bring down some lines. And then I'm going to do a similar thing like I did on the hills, where I'm adding those lines of various lengths and various spacings in between the lines. This is going to mimic the shadows on the different faces of the mountain. Mountains are pretty complex, but this is a pretty easy way to add shading that's really simple. I'm kind of going all over the place with where I'm adding the lines, but make sure that on the sides of the very top peaks, make sure that it's shaded so that it gives the illusion of where the sun is hitting it, and then there's a shadow on the other side. And I'm doing that again there. And now I'm going to repeat what I did on the second set of mountains in the back. I'm adding a little tiny mountain in the corner there because I thought it looked nice. And then I'm just adding some simple wavy lines to look like smoke coming out of the chimney. And for some other final touches, I'm going to be doing some clouds. Clouds are very easy. All you have to do is a bumpy, curvy line on top and then a flatter, bumpy, curvy line on the bottom. I notice if you make the bottom of the clouds flatter than the top, it makes it look much more realistic. And now I'm adding a little sun or a moon. It could be either. And then to add some nice little effect, I'm going to erase the edges of the circle where the moon and the clouds are. I think it makes it look a little bit more polished and adds a nice little effect. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed.